Am I recording? I think I am. Hi, y'all.
Holy Jesus, holy Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. But, hi, this is Lori.
This is Peter.
And this is Hamilton.
And we are back with a review. Actually, we are re-recording a review because the last time we did this, the sound cut out. Of course, you know, you do 20, 30 minutes of it and then realize, go back, oh, I don't have any sound.
We're going to do it bigger and better this time. Right?
Anyway, well, simplify things. We are reviewing the movie Respect, the biopic about Aretha Franklin, starring Jennifer Hudson and
Marlon Williams.
Marlon Wayans, Forrest Whitaker, Mary J. Blige, Audra McDonald, I think it is. Audra McDonald. She's a Broadway singer-actress, Megatony Award-winning person who plays Aretha's mother in the movie, by the way. Okay. So it's been a few weeks. I was in New York last week, having a great time. In fact, just a week ago, I was having dinner in Harlem, and an awesome time. I was just telling Peter about it. Yeah. But anyway, we are back and trying to get back on the ball of our reviews and movie watching. So, who wants to go first? This is Respect, the biopic about Aretha Franklin, stamped of approval by the estate of Aretha Franklin, and handpicked Jennifer Hudson.
I liked it personally.
Let me scoot you over here.
I mean, it's not a bad film. It's just, like, every scene I found interesting to watch. But the overall story for me was a little lacking, but I liked it. That would be my first and honest reaction, is that I actually enjoyed watching it, and I thought the songs were, for me, they were good. I know, Laurie, you were saying you thought that some of the music wasn't as good as it should have been.
Not necessarily. I didn't have that. I have. Jennifer Hudson is not one of my favorite singers. I know that's kind of blasphemous to say, but I find...
Well, you're a musician, though, so...
Yeah, I tend to find she's kind of, her thing is loud. She's great she has great voice, great singing ability, but she kind of just does loud most of the time and doesn't really do a lot of, like, dynamics.
I said the same thing about Lady Gaga.
Oh, yeah? I like Lady Gaga, though.
Yeah, I'm not saying she doesn't have range, but she does like her her high dynamics, you know.
Well, but what for the type of music she does, that kind of works. Jennifer Hudson is kind of like, you expect more from the type of music that
I got you.
You especially compared to singers like Aretha Franklin, and you have this long history of black R&B women artists with it's a lot to live up to. But anyway. That's Peter. Did you want to pop in before I go off on a tangent too much about music?
One thing, I found Jennifer Hudson, and only lacking in a lot of ways, for the acting, for the voice, a lot of things. I don't think looking at it, I don't think it was her fault. At all. Aretha, when you start to find out more about Aretha Franklin, you find out one thing: she's too big to play.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. She's a legend.
That's kind of what I wanted to touch on, but I didn't want to say
personality.
it in a negative way. But
but
there were things about her. Like, I was reading a story, and like a photographer came to her house, and she opened the door, and she had like her rollers in her hair and a sandwich in her hand and a cigarette in the other hand, and she was like, "Is this how you want to take a picture of me?" So she was, she was a diva, and you're right, they couldn't do all of that in 2 hours, a little under 2 hours, a little over 2 hours, excuse me.
Which, well, I mean, there is a mini series on, I think it's on Hulu. I haven't seen it though. So they do take time to try to tell her story, but I hear the family was not happy with that series. But I wanted to get to this. I actually liked Jennifer Hudson singing in this because in portraying Aretha Franklin's early career, in which Aretha sung standards but was not very successful at it, because that's not what her voice was. She's a big,
right.
The power and just the feel that she she's ultimately became known by. But when Jennifer Hudson had to kind of like tone down her power to sing the standards, I really liked her singing in that. But that's something completely different. For this movie, it's okay. I mean, it's hard to do music biopics because they're all kind of tell the same story. It's usually screwed over by the manager, or I have a father figure who's kind of horrible to me. It seems to all kind of go down the same route. So this one's no different. It doesn't really, I was like, Jennifer Hudson's performance didn't really connect for me. And that could be because of the story they told. Is you get the events that happened in Aretha Franklin's life, but you don't get how those things shaped her as a person, what her personality may have been. That doesn't really come through in the movie. So it's just kind of like, okay, here's a series of events that happened here, and here's a series of bad events that happened in this time in her life and this time in her life. But it doesn't feel connected and like a person knows, okay, and this is how she became this great singer or even a diva personality. You don't get that underlying aspect of it. And
Well, a lot of that, I think, became the fault of either the director and or the editor.
okay.
Because there was a lot of things in there that I was kind of going, well, wait, what? But I do have to say one thing. I don't really like Marlon Wayans.
Oh, you don't?
No, I'm just.
But I think
he's
that
okay.
means he's done his job.
But you know what? In this movie, that boy should have won. He should win an Oscar.
That boy sure can sing.
Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, like we said before, but
That boy
can
should
act.
win
he
an
can act.
Oscar.
He can act.
He can act.
Yeah.
Marlon
Yes, he
Wayans,
can.
it was a surprise in this movie. He plays her terrible first husband, abusive first husband, and he gets the Larry Fishburne Ike Turner Award
Yeah.
for terrible first husbands
That's like
to
the
legendary
standard.
female singers in a movie.
Yeah, but
he's memorable. in this.
he did looks and personality to catch, and then he did controlling aspect, but what he did with his voice, his body movements, his looks, everything. Shoot, it was almost like Mama saying, Mama looking, and then you go, okay.
I would say, because he had that thing, he was able to like turn on the charm so you can see why she may have been attracted to him, and then flip it around and be, oh Lord, what did I get myself into?
Yeah.
So that was really impressive. So it's not just like this like evil person throughout the film, but at one point, I don't know if you guys know the background, anybody knows the background about when Aretha starts singing her legendary songs. She went down to a recording studio called Muscle Shoals in the South. I forget if it's in Mississippi, something like that.
I think it's Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah.
And all of the backup musicians on her sessions there were white. So you have all these legendary soul R&B tracks with white musicians playing those, with her singing over it. But at a point in this movie, you're like rooting for the southern white musicians over the black guy, which is like, because he's that horrible. It's like, dude,
Right.
So, but
yeah, Marlon Wayans can act. I mean, I mentioned that he was in the Darren Aronofsky film Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
And I mean,
that's
when
one-
I first realized he could really.
that's one of those movies I
yeah.
could never watch again. It's just
It's very intense. But
Yeah.
I mean, everyone in that film had to play their butts off for that film to work. For it to work as well as it did, for you not to ever want to see it again. They really had to act at a high level.
Yeah.
And he can act.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you, everything that Aretha Franklin went through, even if it was more than this film, what they showed in this film,
Yeah.
after this film, you were thoroughly exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, she went through some tough stuff from childhood. And
I felt like I got a little taste of her life. I put it like
yeah,
that.
You get a little.
Like it wasn't too much. Maybe that's what they wanted. They just wanted to give you a little taste.
Yeah.
Because that's how I would describe it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But too, I wonder if the taste is all we can stand. Because
that sounds like the lyrics to a song or something.
Taste is all you can stand.
That sounds like the. That sounds like a Aretha Franklin album that needs to be recorded or something.
You get a full drink, you get a full swallow, and it's like
you can't handle a shot. You just get a taste.
When more metaphors go wrong.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
But nah, for real. No, I mean like I said earlier in the review, I want to say that I like this film. I don't have anything that I didn't like about it. I just thought it was kind of shallow in the shallow end of the pool. You know, that would be my overall assessment. But it's not a bad.
It's adequate. You know, I watch it on cable. It's not. Yeah.
But one thing I did want to point out. There was a gentleman who does sports on ESPN all the time. Last name Kettleman. But he said he was there the night that she was at the Kennedy Center.
Okay.
And he said she started singing, and he was saying that, he wished he had seen her when she was in full voice, because she was almost 70 or
something it's
like that.
Towards the
and he just said, it's a shame that I'm first hearing her now. And he said after he was blown away.
Yeah.
Because
I don't think she ever lost her voice.
Well,
No.
she didn't. She was very careful. Like she wouldn't sing in venues that had air conditioning because of her voice. Yeah, she was very
turn it off.
touchy about that.
Y'all gotta sweat.
I want to say this
Y'all
about.
gotta sweat
I want to clarify. I want to say this. Aretha Franklin was like probably the original diva. You know, when we talk about divas, because she called herself the Queen of Soul.
Did she?
That wasn't like a title that was. That's just like Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson called himself the King of Pop, and he was not wrong.
But she said she was the Queen of Soul, and she carried herself like she was a queen, and that's kind of what made her a diva at the end of the day.
I have no problems with divas when you can back that shit up.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
I'm not. Come on, it's like shit.
No, I
she's
know.
Aretha Franklin.
But I wish they had portrayed it more. Like
I would have been a more interesting movie actually.
The only time they touched on that at all was near the end of the film. That one scene, and she's at home with her family, and she's just snapping on everyone. That was just a glimpse, but they did. That's how about as close as they got to it, and then they just that was it. That was only one scene in the film, but she could snap on people, but she was the Queen of Soul. She embodied that. So I want to make that clear.
Well, I think if Aretha would have snapped on me, I'd have cried.
I was like, what's he gonna say now?
Where's this going?
Where's this going?
At the same time, I always think about there was this video her granddaughter posted to Twitter, and she's just sitting at home like at an electric piano singing. And she's singing to her grandkids. She just sent it out to them. Yeah. It was a very personal thing and stuff, and so there's that person too. Yeah. That the grandmother and matriarch of a family, and it's.
I think Peter, the fact that you say you saw her live, right?
No, he's talking about somebody else did.
Somebody else did.
Yeah, like that's kind of like my reaction when I first saw Michael Jackson. It's like sometimes people are so much bigger than life that you have to see them to really be able to understand how big they really are. And I imagine seeing her would be similar.
Would be some. That's the shame, It's like in recent years we're losing a lot of major musical artists, and it's like, oh shit, I need who's still alive, and let me go see them in concert. I do want to mention it was interesting. We're in Inglewood, California. Our most famous venue is the Forum, and one of the first was
SoFi Stadium. I think
The form. I'm sorry. It's so
Well-
far, yeah, you're new. You're beautiful. You're nice and shiny, but the form is legendary.
you
And
go.
it's so legendary. One of the first concerts they had there was Aretha Franklin,
Wow.
1967.
Wow.
So take that.
I didn't know that. But
Sci-fi
that makes
stadium.
sense too.
As my dad calls it.
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi stadium.
My dad calls it Sci-Fi Stadium. I love it.
I
But
like
anyway.
that name. That's a good name for it.
And
though.
it looks like Sci-Fi
Yeah.
Stadium. But,
Yeah.
so that's Respect. Any other final thoughts on Respect? It's an adequate movie, not the best music biopic in a genre that doesn't really have a lot of great biopics anyway.
Yeah,
But,
it's better than most biopics, but you know it could be better. I guess.
Yeah, I would have liked to felt I learned more about who she was as a personality and as a person through this film. I just don't feel like I got that. I just got here's some stuff that happened to her, and she became this great singer, this great, successful singer. So.
I will say I was impressed that they did as much as they did in a 2.5 hour span. Sorry, Laura. I know you want to sign off.
No, it's all right. It's good.
We're having more fun just doing
We're
the
just
interview.
reading.
The review.
It's been a few weeks,
Yeah.
We've had other stuff going on. But anyway, so that's Respect. It is on, what was it on? I think I paid the video
Was
on
it
demand.
HBO?
I did. It was streaming. You could pay, no, I don't think it was on HBO.
Oh.
I got it off Amazon Prime. I paid like full
Yes.
ticket price.
Okay.
A few weeks ago. I'm not sure where it's going to end up streaming, but catch it when it does, and let us know what you think in the comments. And we out like
All
the
right,
Queen of
we
Soul. I don't. Maybe not.
We out. We out. We gone. We out of here.
Oh wait. Anyway, good. Bye y'all.